Hey, what's up? This is Dr. Jack from Mobile T-Shirt Adventures, and we're going to start a t-shirt today. Alright, first thing you need to do when you're printing a t-shirt is make sure it's going to stick down. This isn't very sticky because we already used it. I don't like to clean it very often because the little pieces of fiber kind of keep the shirt stuck down. So what I'm using today is Top Bond Mist. We've also got web here. And that's for like sweatshirts and stuff. It makes it to where it doesn't stick so much. But you can pick that up from Ryonet. Just go ahead and Google Ryonet and you'll find various websites that they're on. So anyway, go ahead and shake a little bit. Give it a pretty good blast there, so that you got enough on there, because it's going to be picking it up. When you put your shirt on there, it's going to be taking some of it off, and you may have to reapply it during the process. So we've got the black t-shirt. I brought out one of my own t-shirts so I can test this out the first time. This is a small, and when you're loading this onto the pallet, what you want to do is look for, there's usually a line from the manufacturing process. This one's been sitting out a little bit, so if you can't find the line, grab the shoulders like this, and see how that lines up real nice there, and put your fingers in there. And with the smaller shirts you kind of have to wiggle them on a little bit, but take it all the way to the edge, that, see, and then make sure these seams line up. These are for the shoulders and the sleeves. I like to line mine up to where the tag just meets right there. Go ahead and do this, and then kind of smooth out like this, because otherwise you get a little wrinkle in there, and then that just screws up the whole process. Alright, we are about to print some white. So now we've got the white, the purple, this is fluorescent orange, and this is yellow. We're going to put down the white first. Careful here. Alright. Now, on my screen right now, I've already tested this out, so there's some ink on here, but when you first get this on here, hello, yeah, the white's been a little thick lately, so we kind of had to water it down with some other white. But lift up, and then you want to back flood this. You can go ahead and take your time too, just to make sure you get it done. And that's, you're applying pressure. And what it is there's a flat edge right here, and you're pushing it along, and that pushes it down into the screen. So now, there, we set the screen down, and what we want to do is we want to put it down here at the bottom of the print. We're going to come down on the angle a little bit. We're going to lock our wrists, and then we're going to press, and we're going to pull, just like that. And then set that back down there, and that's pretty white. Looks real good. Alright, so our white's laid down pretty good. You can see right here it started to stipple a little bit, but after a couple of prints that'll even out and it should work out. So we're going to see what that does. But the lettering looks real nice, and then this is basically a canvas for the color to lay on top of, because these other colors, they're kind of translucent, and if you were to put it directly onto the black, you'd see it, but you wouldn't be able to tell what color it was really. So that's why we put it on a white canvas. So let's try the next color. Oh, I forgot, we got to dry this. So I don't have two flash dryers, so what I'm going to do is use my handy dandy little shop Wagner thingy here. You can get these at Home Depot. Yeah, Home Depot. Probably Walmart too. You want to go nice and slow because you're simulating a flash, which if you had a flash dryer on top of this, it would take 5 to 10 seconds to dry. So what I do is from here to here, I count to 15 in my head, and you know, for every 6 inches, just count to 15 and you should be great. So let's try this out. Alright, so this should be dry now, and the way you can test that out is by going like this, and you don't want to make sure you don't touch and spread the ink, but tap it a little bit, don't get too much, and as long as the surface is dry and it doesn't come back off in your hands like that, then you're fine. Now you need to let the board cool a little bit, because if you don't, then the other colors will stipple a little bit and, you know, separate, kind of a raised effect. And we'll get into that later when we get into our special effects, but for now we just want a nice smooth t-shirt. So I'm going to let this cool off for a second. Alright, 1 minute has passed, so let's check our board. Feels real good, feels real good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the purple down. Right there. And you can see how it lines up with the white. Well, maybe not from there, but anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flood this screen, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the paint on. So when you're flooding a screen this way, normally I like to flood it this way, but since I don't have paint up here, I'm just going to go ahead and angle it and give it a nice, easy little twirl there, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that down there. And then back to the bottom of the graphic, press down, go ahead and get your squeegee angle good, and go ahead and pull it. Okay, now we're going to check that. I want it a little darker, so now I have ink on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and back flood it again, real quick. And that right there, when you touch that on there, kind of helps get rid of some of the extra ink so you don't have that ribbon effect. Okay, go ahead and put it down on the shirt, and then lock your wrist, a little pressure, and apply. Put it down for next time. Look at that. Purple came out great, looks good, and it's lined up very well. You'll notice that some of this ink gets up here on the screen. That's just fine. That's kind of how you want it, because after a while it builds up and it just adds to the effect. So now we're going to try orange. Okay, that looks real nice and lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull some, actually, let's load some more ink on here while we're here. So we've got fluorescent orange, just like that. You're going to get ink on your hands, so don't worry about that. I'll show you a product that's real good for taking those off. Now, make sure you always mix your ink, because these fluorescent colors and some of the lighter colors, they tend to separate out, and it's easier just to mix it in the jar than try to get it mixing on the screen. So, okay. And blob it out real good, because we're doing 60 shirts.